Hi guys, Michael here. Welcome to the fish room. Today it's storytelling time. It's about a little fish that caused quite a splash in the scientific community and became kind of a poster boy for successful conservation projects. It is a story of mankind's destruction of natural habitats, but it is also a story of hope. Hang on.
The Tequila Splitfin is a livebearer from the Zoogoneticus family. It's a wonderful and easy fish to keep. The males have a bluish sheen on their bodies and the tails are crowned in orange. When males are sparring or breeding, they can turn almost black with an intense glow in the orange tail. Females are more drab but has a golden brown color with an interesting pattern of spots on the sides. Adults grow to a size of 5 to 7 centimeters, with females being slightly larger than the males. In my tanks they don't eat their own fry, and I have successfully bred them for years. But the story starts in Mexico. A single male of the Tequila Splitfin was sampled as far back as in 1955 by Miller and Greenbank. This specimen wasn't identified correct back then. Many years later the mistake was detected and the fish was identified as a new species. Finally, 43 years after the first capture, it was scientifically described by Webb and Miller as Zoogoneticus tequila in 1998. At that time, it was thought to be extinct in the wild and only kept alive in captivity. The reason for the demise of this species was a combination of environmental decline and a growing population of non-native fish, like guppies. But it turned out that the scientists were wrong. Because in 2001, a very small population of less than 50 adults was found in the Teuchitlán River ecosystem in Mexico. The drainage system of the Teuchitlán River is located near the volcano Tequila, Jalisco. It includes some springs, a small river, and a man-made reservoir. This new find resulted in action. A critically endangered assessment was published on the Red List of Threatened Species in 2009. And the fish was catalogued as endangered by Mexican law. But somehow, all the good intentions did not help these cool goatids. A few years later, around 2012-2013, that population was also extinct. And the remaining individuals of the Tequila Splitfin survived only in captivity. A recovery plan for the Teuchitlán ecosystem was prepared by researchers with the Fish Ark project, hosted by the Universidad Mexicana de San Nicolas de Hidalgo, Mexico. Sure hope I got all that right. The plan's main focus was to get the Tequila Splitfin back in the natural habitats. First phase was to establish a large population of the species at the Fish Ark facility from captive sources. The second phase aimed to understand the ecological conditions of the area, to be able to determine the key factors that were essential for successful reintroduction. The third phase was engaging the local community in the work with habitat improvement. A large earthen pond was created, simulating the most natural conditions possible, with seasonal water and food availability. And the fish that had been kept alive in aquariums by local livebearer enthusiasts were introduced. By 2016, the pond had an estimated population of 10,000 new Tequila Splitfins. Another important task was to collect information on the diversity and abundance of food sources in the water, as well as competitors, parasites, and predators that lived in the release area. And there were plenty of competitors for food. In fact, 2,500 non-native fish were removed from the chosen area to improve the habitat for the splitfins and other native species. Then 160 fish were placed in situ enclosures and were monitored closely to see how well they coped with the restored natural environment. The surviving fish from this group were then released with an additional 80 fish from the large pond. After reintroduction, the population grew exponentially for 2 years, then stabilized. The population was then estimated at more than 800 Tequila Splitfins living near the volcano that gave them, and probably the burning hot drink, their names. This was the first time a fish listed by the IUCN as extinct in the wild had ever been successfully reintroduced in Mexico. In many ways a real landmark for conservation and a blueprint for the future conservation of the many species that are threatened or even extinct in the wild. The successful project turned this small Mexican livebearer into a bearer of life in more than one sense. The Tequila Splitfin was welcomed back home to the areas where it had lived for thousands of years. All thanks to a strong collaboration between scientists, aquarists, environmentalists, and the local community. The Tequila Splitfin carries a story of joy and optimism, and give hope for other endangered environments and endangered wildlife all over the world.
Okay guys, the Tequila Splitfin, all the footage of the fish are recorded here in our fish room. And I will get back with another video where we go into details about keeping, feeding and breeding this fish. But that's a story for another day. Thanks for watching.